Hey there, coin enthusiasts and treasure hunters. Imagine this: you're digging through your pocket change, about to toss a nickel into the tip jar, when boom, you realize it could be worth over $1,000,000. Sounds like something out of a movie, right? Well, stick around because today, we're diving into the story of the 1973 no-mint mark Jefferson nickel, a little coin that packs a huge punch. And yes, you heard me right, $1.1 million could be sitting in your couch cushions right now, but before you go flipping over every nickel you own, let me tell you what makes this coin so special, how to spot one, and why it's worth so much. Plus, I'll share a funny little story about the time I almost missed out on a rare coin myself. Let's get into it. So, what's the deal with the 1973 no-mint mark Jefferson nickel? First, let's break it down. Most coins are minted with a little letter, D for Denver, S for San Francisco, or no mark at all if it's from Philadelphia. The absence of a mint mark on the 1973 Jefferson nickel is normal for coins struck in Philadelphia, but here's the twist: not all no-mint mark nickels are created equal. A rare batch of these nickels had something special going on: perfectly struck details, flawless surfaces, and a shiny finish that makes them stand out like a diamond in a sea of pebbles. These rare gems are classified as proof-like strikes. And because they were so well preserved, collectors go absolutely wild for them. And now, here's where the $1,000,000 price tag comes in. A pristine, almost untouched 1973 no-mint mark Jefferson nickel was sold at auction for, brace yourself, $1.1 million. That's right, someone out there turned a nickel into a literal fortune. The secret lies in its condition, rarity, and the fierce competition among collectors. But how can you tell if your 1973 nickel is worth a fortune? First, grab a magnifying glass or a loupe and check for these key features: sharp, clear details on Jefferson's face. No smudges or weak strikes. A mirror-like shine, almost as if it's glowing under the light. No scratches, dents, or signs of wear. If your nickel checks all these boxes, you might just be holding a treasure. And even if it's not worth $1 million, a high-grade 1973 no-mint mark nickel can still fetch hundreds or thousands of dollars. Not bad for a coin you found in your junk drawer, right? Okay, quick story time. A few years ago, I was helping my grandma clean out her attic. You know, one of those just toss everything in a box kind of situations. Anyway, I stumbled across this old coin jar filled with nickels, pennies, and who knows what else. I almost ignored it because, let's be honest, who expects to find anything exciting in an old jar? But then I remembered something my dad used to say: always check your change. You never know what's hiding in plain sight. So, I took the jar home and started sorting through it. And guess what? I found a rare penny that ended up selling for a few $100. No $1,000,000 jackpot, but hey, it was enough for a new TV. Moral of the story? Never underestimate the value of small things. So, there you have it, the incredible story of the 1973 no-mint mark Jefferson nickel that turned heads and made headlines. Who knew a humble little nickel could be worth so much? If this story has you itching to check your change, I say go for it. You never know, your next trip to the grocery store might just fund your dream vacation. Before you go, here's my challenge for you: start checking your coins today. And if you find anything cool, let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your stories. Oh, and one last thing, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I've got plenty more tips, tricks, and stories about valuable coins coming your way. Let's turn your pocket change into a goldmine, one coin at a time. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Hey there, treasure hunters. Imagine this: you're digging through your loose change to grab some quarters for the vending machine when, bam, you stumble upon a nickel that's not just worth 5 cents but $1.2 million. Yes, you heard that right. A single 1961 no-mint mark Jefferson nickel could change your life overnight. Crazy, right? Well, in today's video, we're diving into the fascinating story behind this coin, why it's so valuable, and how you can check your own stash to see if you've hit the jackpot. Oh, and stick around, because I'm also going to share a hilarious story about how I almost threw away a valuable coin myself. Spoiler alert, I'm still crying about it. Let's get into it. The 1961 Jefferson nickel without a mint mark was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. While most nickels from this year are worth just their face value, a select few have unique qualities that make them insanely valuable to collectors. One of the main reasons? Errors in die varieties. Some of these nickels were struck with misaligned dies or doubled features, giving them a distinct, rare look. Think of it like finding a typo in the Declaration of Independence: quirky, valuable, and a bit of a flex if you own it. Another factor is condition. If your nickel looks like it just rolled off the press, no scratches, perfect shine, you might be sitting on a goldmine. Professional coin graders use something called the Sheldon scale to rate coins from 1 to 70. If your 1961 nickel scores a near perfect 68 or 69, cha-ching. You're looking at serious money. Okay, story time. A few years ago, I was helping my grandma clean out her attic, classic Sunday chore, right? We found this old jar filled with coins, and I was like, cool, free gas money. But as I started sorting through them, I noticed this odd-looking nickel. It was shiny but had some unique quirks, like faint doubling on the text. Being the genius I am, I tossed it into the jar without a second thought. Fast forward to months later, I'm watching a documentary on rare coins, and they show a 1961 nickel that looked suspiciously like the one I'd seen. Heart racing, I ran to grab the jar only to find out my sister had used it to buy snacks at a gas station. Lesson learned: always double check your coins before spending them on chips. Now, here's the part you've been waiting for: how to check if your 1961 nickel is the real deal. First, look for a no mint mark. If there's no tiny letter under Monticello, that's the building on the back of the coin. You've cleared the first hurdle. Next, check the condition. Is it shiny and new looking? Or does it look like it went through the washing machine a few times? The closer it is to mint condition, the better. Finally, grab a magnifying glass and inspect for any oddities, doubling, die cracks, or anything that looks out of place. If you think you've got something special, consider sending it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC.so. Why would someone pay $1.2 million for a nickel? 2 words: rarity and demand. There are only a handful of these coins in pristine condition, and collectors love unique items that tell a story. It's like owning a piece of history, except this one can fund your dream vacation. Alright, folks, there you have it, the wild, wonderful world of the 1961 no-mint Mark Jefferson nickel. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just someone who loves a good treasure hunt, this coin proves that everyday objects can hold extraordinary value. So, what are you waiting for? Check your piggy banks, raid your couch cushions, and dig through that jar of old coins in the garage. Who knows? You might be sitting on a fortune and not even know it. If you found this video helpful or at least mildly entertaining, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. I'll be back with more tips on coins, collectibles, and all the hidden treasures you might already own. Hey, treasure hunters! Imagine this: you're digging through your spare change, maybe even that forgotten jar in the kitchen, and bam! You come across a nickel worth a jaw-dropping $1.3 million. Yeah, you heard that right, a plain old nickel could turn you into a millionaire overnight. Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of the 1984 mint Mark Jefferson nickel. This little guy might just be hiding in your pocket right now, and if it is, well, let's just say dinner's on you tonight. Cut to host holding a pile of coins. But before you start flipping your couch cushions, let me tell you exactly what makes this coin so special, how to spot it, and why it's worth more than my first car. Let's get rolling. Alright, so what's the deal with the 1984 mint Mark Jefferson nickel? First, let's break it down. These nickels were minted in Philadelphia, which is what the P stands for. Back then, no one thought twice about them, they were just another nickel. But today, this coin is the king of nickels, and here's why. The $1 million 1984 Jefferson nickel is so valuable because of a rare minting error. You see, during production, the dies used to stamp the coins sometimes get worn out or damaged. That's what happened here. This specific nickel has a unique doubling effect on the lettering, especially on the word Monticello and 5 cents. It's called a double die error, and collectors go absolutely nuts for these rare mistakes. I mean, let's be real, if I made a mistake at work, I'd probably just get an awkward meeting with HR. But when the US Mint makes a mistake? Boom, instant millionaire. Go figure. Now, let me tell you a quick story. A friend of mine, let's call him Dave, was cleaning out his car one day, the usual old receipts, melted candy, and loose change. He found a nickel that looked kinda off. Turns out, it was a 1984 nickel with the exact error we're talking about. Long story short, Dave sent it to a coin grading service, and a few weeks later, he had an offer for $500,000. He didn't even know what he had until he Googled it. Moral of the story? Always check your change, folks. Here's the kicker: a high-grade 1984 double-die nickel sold at auction for $1.3 million. That's enough to buy a house, a fancy car, and still have some leftover for a lifetime supply of pizza. Alright, so how can you find one of these magical nickels? Step 1. Grab a magnifying glass. Step 2. Check your nickels from 1984 for that doubling effect on the text. Step 3. If you think you've got one, send it to a professional grading service to confirm its authenticity. Trust me, it's worth it. Pro tip: don't try to explain this to your kids. I told my nephew I was looking for $1 million nickel, and now he thinks I'm some kind of pirate. Matey. So there you have it, the 1984 mint marked Jefferson nickel, the little coin that could change your life. It's proof that even the smallest things can hold incredible value. Who knew your loose change could be worth more than a mansion? If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about coins that could make you rich, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell for notifications. I've got tons of tips, tricks, and stories coming your way, and you don't want to miss them. And hey, if you find a 1984 nickel, let me know in the comments. I might just be your biggest fan. Have you ever had a nickel in your pocket and thought, this little guy isn't worth much? Well, what if I told you that one special nickel might just make you a millionaire? Yes, you heard me right, a nickel could change your life. Today, we're talking about the legendary 1981 mint marked Jefferson nickel, a coin that's currently valued at a jaw-dropping $1.4 million. So, grab your spare change, because after this video, you're going to be digging through your couch cushions like never before. Alright, let's break this down. The 1981 mint marked Jefferson nickel isn't just any old nickel. Oh no! This coin is like the Beyoncé of the coin world: rare, valuable, and absolutely iconic. So, why is this nickel worth more than a Ferrari? Let's dive into the details. First, let's talk about rarity. In 1981, the Philadelphia Mint produced millions of nickels, but only a select few came out. How should I put this? Perfectly imperfect. These rare nickels have a unique flaw in their design, maybe a slight double die, a misstrike, or a unique planchet error. And collectors go wild for these mistakes. Imagine finding out your most embarrassing moment could make you famous. That's basically this coin, but rarity isn't the only thing driving the price up. Condition is everything. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, and the closer you get to that perfect 70, the more valuable your coin is. The 1981 nickel worth $1.4 million? It's in mint condition, which means it looks like it was minted yesterday. No scratches, nowhere, just pure nickel glory. Now, let me tell you a quick story. A few years ago, I was cleaning out my grandpa's garage, because let's face it, garages are where all the good treasure is hidden. I stumbled across an old coffee can full of coins. At first, I thought, it's just pocket change. But then, I remembered reading about valuable coins and decided to take a closer look. No $1 million nickels in there, trust me, I checked, but I did find a penny that was worth $20. Moral of the story? Always check your spare change. You never know what you'll find. Alright, so what should you be looking for? Grab any 1981 nickel you can find and check for that little mint mark on the right side of Thomas Jefferson's portrait. Next, examine it under good lighting. Look for any signs of a unique design error or an unusually pristine condition. If you think you've got something special, take it to a coin dealer or send it off to be graded. Worst case scenario? You'll learn something cool about coins. Best case scenario? You're a millionaire. Okay, let's recap. The 1981 mint marked Jefferson nickel is a rare gem in the coin world, and it's worth up to $1.4 million if you have one in mint condition. So, before you spend that nickel on gum or toss it in a tip jar, give it a second look. You might just be holding your ticket to financial freedom. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I'll be sharing more tips and strategies to help you find valuable coins hiding in plain sight. And hey, drop a comment below if you've ever found a rare coin or if you're inspired to start checking your change. Who knows? You could be the star of my next video. Hey there, treasure hunters. Imagine this, you're rummaging through your spare change at the drive-thru, about to buy a burger, and bam. You find a nickel that could change your life. Sounds too good to be true? Well, stick around because today we're talking about the 2016 mint Thomas Jefferson nickel, a tiny coin with a not-so-tiny value of $1.50 million. Now, before you start emptying your piggy bank or shaking down your couch cushions, let's dive into what makes this nickel so special, how to spot one, and why collectors are willing to dish out a cool $1.5 million for it. Oh, and I've got a funny little story about a coin mishap that'll make you double-check your change every single time, alright? Let's talk about the star of the show, the 2016 mint Thomas Jefferson nickel. For those who don't know, the D stands for the Denver Mint, where this coin was struck. Now, here's the kicker, most 2016 nickels are just your everyday, run-of-the-mill coins worth, well, 5 cents. But there's a rare error version that has collectors losing their minds. So, this isn't just any nickel, it's a nickel with a twist. Literally. Some of these coins were accidentally struck with a misaligned die, which gave them a unique design anomaly. Think of it as a factory defect, but for coins. This little oops makes it one of the rarest Jefferson nickels in existence. Here's the fun part, these error nickels often slip into circulation unnoticed. Yep, they could be sitting in your pocket, quietly waiting to turn your Starbucks run into a life-changing payday. To spot the $1.5 million jackpot, you'll need a keen eye and maybe a magnifying glass, or a strong pair of glasses like me when I lose my contacts. Look for a misaligned strike where the design is slightly off. Center. An unusual texture or doubling in the lettering or design. Any other oddities, like cracks or extra lines, that scream I'm not like the other nickels. And don't forget to check for that D mint mark, located just below Monticello on the coin's reverse side. Without it, you're looking at a standard nickel, not the $1 million marvel. Let me tell you about the time I almost threw away a rare coin. True story, I was helping a friend clean out their junk drawer, that black hole of random batteries, old receipts, and yes, coins. I found what looked like a regular nickel, but something about it caught my eye. I set it aside, planning to look it up later. Fast forward 2 weeks, and I accidentally used it to pay for gum at a gas station. The kicker? It wasn't worth $1.5 million, but it was a rare error coin worth a few $100. Moral of the story? Never underestimate your loose change. The coin market is driven by collectors with deep pockets and a passion for rarity. The 2016 mint Thomas nickel ticks all the boxes, it's unique, it's a mistake, in the best way, and it's in ridiculously high demand. When one of these rare beauties hit the auction block a few years ago, the bidding went wild, landing at a jaw-dropping $1.50 million. So, the next time you're digging through your change to pay for coffee or snacks, take a closer look at those nickels. Who knows? That little 5-cent coin could be worth more than your house, but here's the deal, finding these rare coins takes patience, a sharp eye, and maybe a little bit of luck. If you love this kind of treasure hunting, why not stick around? Hit that subscribe button and join our coin-loving crew. I'll keep bringing you tips, stories, and strategies to help you uncover hidden gems in your pocket change. And hey, if you've got an interesting coin story or think you've found a 2016 mint Thomas nickel worth $1.5 million, drop it in the comments below. Who knows? You might inspire someone else to start their treasure hunt. Have you ever wondered if that pocket change jingling in your car's cup holder could be worth a small fortune? What if I told you there's a nickel out there that's worth $1.60 million? Yes, you heard that right, a nickel. Today, we're diving into the story of the 1985 mint Thomas Jefferson nickel, why it's so valuable, and how you might just have one hiding in plain sight. So, buckle up, because this is a wild ride through the world of coin collecting, and maybe, just maybe, your ticket to riches. Alright, let's start with the basics. The 1985 mint Thomas Jefferson nickel was minted in Philadelphia, hence the P mint mark. Now, this coin is not just your run-of-the-mill nickel, it's a coin collector's dream. Why? It all comes down to rarity, condition, and one very specific minting error. Here's the deal, in 1985, a small batch of these nickels was struck using a misaligned die. That means the design is slightly off-center, and the details of Jefferson's profile and Monticello on the back are sharper than usual. Think of it like the coin equivalent of a unicorn. It's unique, magical, and worth a whole lot of money. Now, let me share a quick story. A few years ago, I found myself with a jar of old coins after cleaning out my grandma's attic. Among them was a pile of nickels that I almost tossed into a Coinstar machine. But something told me to look closer. Spoiler alert, none of them were $1,000,000 coins, but I did find one worth $50. That was the day I learned that coin collecting is like playing the lottery, but with much better odds. Back to our 1985 nickel. What makes it worth $1.6 million isn't just the error. Condition is everything. These coins are graded on a scale called the Sheldon scale, where 1 is basically ran over by a lawnmower and 70 is minted yesterday and never touched. The $1,000,000 nickels are graded MS67 or higher, meaning they look like they just rolled off the minting press. Now, you might be wondering, how do I know if I have one of these golden air nickel tickets? First, grab a magnifying glass or a loupe and check the date and mint mark. Next, look for any oddities in the design, like uneven spacing or extra sharp details. If it looks promising, don't rely on your cousin Dave's opinion, take it to a professional coin grader. Speaking of coin graders, let me tell you about Larry. Larry is a buddy of mine who swore he had a rare coin. He spent hours Googling, convinced it was worth thousands, only to find out it was worth 35 cents. Moral of the story? Get an expert opinion before quitting your day job. Let's talk market value. As of today, the highest graded 1985p nickel fetched $1.6 million at auction. That's enough to buy a luxury car, a down payment on a house, or like 32,000 Little Caesars pizzas. But even if yours isn't in pristine condition, lower grades can still sell for hundreds or even thousands. And hey, that's not bad for a 5-cent investment, right? So, where do you sell these coins? Online platforms like eBay or heritage auctions are popular, but always be cautious. Scammers are out there, and they'll happily pay you $1 for your $1,000,000 coin if you're not careful. Alright, let's wrap this up. If you've got a jar of nickels sitting around, it might be time to dig through it. Who knows? You could be holding onto a fortune without even realizing it. But even if you don't strike it rich, the thrill of the hunt is half the fun, and it might just make you appreciate your pocket change a little more. Before you go, don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more tips on spotting coins worth big bucks. Hit that like button if you enjoyed this video, and let me know in the comments if you've ever found a rare coin or if you're heading straight to your couch cushions after watching this. Hey there, treasure hunters. Imagine this, you're digging through your pocket change, maybe you just bought a coffee or paid for parking, and you find a nickel. A plain old 1980p Jefferson nickel. But wait. What if I told you that very coin could be worth a jaw-dropping $1.7 million? Yeah, you heard me, million, with an M. Sounds crazy, right? Stick around, because today we're diving into how a simple nickel from 1980 could change your life. And trust me, you'll never look at loose change the same way again. So, let's talk about the 1980p Jefferson nickel. First, what's the deal with that little P mint mark? It means this nickel was minted in Philadelphia. But here's the kicker, not every 1980p nickel is worth a fortune. In fact, most of them are worth, well, 5 cents. But there's a specific type of this coin, a rare error or unique variety, that collectors are losing their minds over. And that's where the big bucks come in. Here's what you need to look for. These rare nickels often have what's called a die clash error or a double die feature. In plain English, the mint messed up during production. These errors create unique markings or designs that shouldn't be there, and collectors love them. It's like a factory defect on a designer bag, it makes it rare and insanely valuable. Okay, true story time. Last year, I found a jar of old coins in my grandma's attic. I was excited, thinking I'd strike it rich. Turns out, most were just regular coins, except one that caught my eye. It was a 1980p Jefferson nickel with a weird double image on the letters. My heart raced faster than a kid opening a mystery box. Sadly, after some research, I realized it wasn't the $1,000,000 nickel. But hey, that experience got me hooked on coin collecting. Now, let's talk numbers. Why is this coin worth $1.7 million? It's all about rarity and condition. If a 1980p Jefferson nickel with a rare error is graded at a high level, say, mint state 67 or higher, it's like the Rolls-Royce of nickels. collectors will pay top dollar for that level of perfection. And when I say top dollar, I mean 7 figures. Crazy, right? But here's the catch: finding one of these rare coins is like winning the lottery. It's not impossible, but it takes patience, luck, and a good eye. So, if you're serious about searching for treasure in your spare change, grab a magnifying glass and start inspecting every coin that comes your way. Who needs Netflix when you can binge watch your own coin collection? It's cheap, fun, and who knows, you might find a $1.7 million jackpot waiting for you. Alright, folks, let's recap. The 1980p Jefferson nickel might seem like just another coin, but under the right circumstances, it's a millionaire's dream. So next time you're emptying your pockets, give those nickels a second glance. Who knows? You might be holding onto a hidden fortune. If you enjoyed this little adventure into the world of valuable coins, don't keep all the fun to yourself. Hit that subscribe button and join our growing community of coin enthusiasts. I'll be sharing more tips, stories, and strategies to help you turn your spare change into serious cash. And hey, if you've got a lucky coin story of your own, drop it in the comments, I'd love to hear it. Hey there, treasure hunters. Have you ever rummaged through your pocket change and thought, man, this stuff is just loose coffee money? Well, think again. What if I told you that one tiny, unassuming nickel could be worth a whopping $1.8 million? Yeah, you heard that right, a single coin. Today, we're diving into the story of the 1998 Thomas Jefferson nickel. Why is it worth so much? How can you tell if you have one? And most importantly, could you be sitting on a fortune without even knowing it? Stick around because you do not want to miss this. Let's start with the basics. The 1998 Thomas Jefferson nickel was minted in Denver, hence the D mint mark. On the surface, it looks like any other nickel. But what sets this little guy apart is its rare mint error. These errors can happen when the dies used to strike the coins are misaligned, doubled, or just plain worn out. In the case of this particular nickel, it's believed that a rare planchet or blank coin was mistakenly used, creating a truly one-of-a-kind masterpiece. Now, I know what you're thinking: how on earth am I supposed to spot this? Great question. Look closely at the coin's details. Check the lettering for doubling, that's where the letters or numbers look like they've been stamped twice. Inspect Jefferson's portrait for any unusual marks or distortions. And, of course, the D mint mark should be crisp and clear. If anything looks out of the ordinary, you might just have hit the jackpot. Let me share a quick story. A few years ago, my friend Sarah, who couldn't care less about coins, called me freaking out. She found an old nickel in a jar her grandmother had tucked away in a closet. "Is this thing worth anything, or can I finally buy that coffee I've been craving?" she asked. Long story short, that coffee had to wait because her nickel turned out to be a rare collectible. While it wasn't the 1998 D, it sold at auction for $20,000. Not bad for a little pocket change, huh? Now, back to our $1.8 million nickel. The reason this coin is so valuable isn't just the error, it's also the condition. In the coin world, condition is everything. Collectors are willing to shell out big bucks for coins that are nearly flawless. This is called mint state condition, and if your 1998 D nickel is in mint state, you've just entered the Millionaires Club. And here's the kicker: even if your 1998 D nickel isn't in perfect shape, it could still be worth thousands. So, before you toss that old jar of coins into a Coinstar machine, take a closer look. You never know what treasure might be hiding in plain sight. Alright, let's wrap this up. If you've made it this far, you're officially a coin enthusiast, or at least curious enough to check your loose change. The 1998 D Jefferson nickel is proof that sometimes the smallest things can hold the biggest surprises. So, what are you waiting for? Grab that jar of coins, start sorting, and who knows? You might just find yourself holding a $1 million miracle. Before you go, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I'm here to help you uncover hidden treasures, learn the secrets of coin collecting, and maybe even change your financial future, all from the comfort of your couch.